Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is $3 Theater. And Fox for the longest time cranked out Marvel movie after Marvel movie after Marvel movie. Some were good, some were great, some were, oh my God, orgasmic, and some were just terrible. And I'll let you decide which ones are which. But one of the interesting things that I never thought of was them trying to put together an Avengers-esque team up, a big multi-franchise film. It never dawned on me that they would have even remotely considered that. But apparently, according to Zack Stentz, they did, saying here that Secret Fox Marvel movie would have included X-Men, Fantastic Four, Deadpool, and Daredevil. Now, of course, this is from way back ago. This is from like 7, 8 years ago, from when this whole idea was being talked about. But think about that. This is probably right after X-Men Origins Wolverine. So Deadpool was still a thing. And this is clearly, probably after they did the screen test that they had done for that. X-Men at the time kind of hadn't, this is before First Class, so they hadn't come into their second renaissance yet. And Fantastic Four, for all intents and purposes, is pretty dead, so a good time to reboot that before Fan Four Stick. But yeah, so let's find out more. So anyway, Zack Stentz, the writer of Rim of the World, Thor, and X-Men First Class, had submitted a script to 20th Century Fox, which pulled together an onslaught of Marvel characters like nothing the studio had done before. Saying here, my ex-partner and I, when we were working at Fox and we were working on X-Men First Class, we did a secret movie for them that I can't tell you what the plot was, but I can tell you that it used all the characters and all of the Marvel characters Fox had at the time in 2011. Now, keep an eye on that one. It used the X-Men, it used the Fantastic Four, it used Daredevil, it used Deadpool. Daredevil was still at Fox at the time. We almost had Paul Greengrass directing it, which would have been so cool, but he had another project to do instead. It didn't end up going, but it was a script that I was really proud of, and it would have been really good. Now, for one, what the hell? Right? What the hell? You're telling me that back in 2011, while you were prepping to get the work done on First Class, Fox had gone to you, because this is kind of what he's saying. Is like Fox had basically said, why don't you guys write this? They were co-writing it at the same time as working on First Class. They're not just doing it out of the goodness of their damn heart. They were being commissioned by Fox to write it, which tells me that Fox was afraid of Disney, or at least afraid of Marvel Studios. Because at the time in 2011, think about what we already had. So 2008, Iron Man comes out. Same with Incredible Hulk. Gets fans hyped up. Oh, damn, these are good movies. Yes, even Incredible Hulk. Then all of a sudden, you start, Iron Man 2, 2 years later. And that's basically kind of a lead-in for the Avengers. And Fox is probably going like, well, wait, we know what's coming. We know that this is going to be big. Wait, but we've got all these X-Men characters, right? But in 2011, think about it, right? So think about it like this. So they had 2009's X-Men Origins Wolverines, which made money, but was ultimately pretty panned by everybody. Before that, you had X-Men First Class in 2006, which while making a lot of money, and I think it made a lot of money. It still, after time, was pretty universally panned by fans. And they didn't really have anything going on with Deadpool at the time, because Tom Rothman didn't think the character would make any damn money, so he killed the project. And when it came to Daredevil, yeah, it had been 8 years since Mark Steven Johnson's film had come out. They had done nothing with it outside of Elektra in 2005, which was an absolute wank fest. And so they really kind of had this, they were in this weird bubble where it was like this weird place where nothing was really working for them. Nothing was really going well. So they're looking to the horizon. They're looking to see what Marvel's up to. And they're like, oh, wait, they're kind of hitting it. They're hitting it. They're hitting it. They're hitting it. These movies are making a lot of money. They are building towards Avengers. And in 2011, they were already filming it. Joss Whedon was already filming it. They had started filming it, I think, in like 2010. So they were already fully aware of what was happening. And I'm pretty certain that Laura Schuler Donner was like looking at it, was probably in talks with Feige. And Feige was saying, oh, yeah, this is what we're doing. Because, he worked for her. He was her assistant. And then now she's like, oh, crap, we need to make our own. We need to find a way to combat this. So they brought in Zack Stentz in order to write this movie, this big movie using these characters. And then something happened. And I don't know what it is. He doesn't really say what it is. He doesn't go into the details, doesn't say what the plot is, but just that they were working on it. And that to me is pretty fascinating, because if they were building towards something, a big, massive team up film to combat the Avengers, that would have, I think, changed the damn game back in the day. Because everyone kind of started looking at Fox's X-Men movies as a bit of a laugh until First Class came out. Again, from 06 to 2011, it was a bit of a joke. From, there was even talks if X-Men Origins Wolverines did well, they wanted to do X-Men Origins Magneto and give Magneto his own film. And that ultimately, I think, kind of melded its way into First Class. But still, we can see that they really had no plan for these characters, because at the time, it was almost unheard of to really to do a lot with this outside of maybe doing a trilogy and to not do a connected universe. So yeah, there's that. Oh, I should also point out that Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer was 2007, and that one also was pretty terribly panned by people when it came out. But anyway, Zack here does go on to say that he was working on another Fantastic Four idea too, and this is just a little caveat in the article I want to talk about. It says that the Fox Marvel Ensemble epic was not the only effort by the screenwriter, which never came to life. He says that the other thing that's never going to happen is the version that Ash and I did of Fantastic Four. Josh Trank, who ended up doing the Fantastic Four that we saw in theaters, we were supposed to be writing the script for him, but nobody told him that we were doing that. So when he officially signed on, he was like, why are you imposing these other writers on me? I want to use my own writer. I want to do my own script. And then he did his version instead. It was one of those hammer blows to our career at the time, even though we had gotten paid, because I was so freaking proud of that script. It was how the Fantastic Four were almost the Fantastic Five, except a young man named Victor Von Doom was just too damaged and effed up to be part of that, to be a part of them. It was a script I was very proud of, and Josh Trank didn't want to do it. Well, looking at the aftermath of Fan Four Stick from 2017, yeah, no, we get it, man. Like, we all get it. Like, Trank, he dropped the ball on that movie, and that is me being kind, because I thought Chronicle was so well done. But even then, that was Max Landis' script. Trank really screwed up Fantastic Four, and it was one of those things where I think that kind of set everything back in regards to that. I think it went back and it screwed up everything else they wanted to do. Thankfully in 2014, we got Daredevil. Or we got Deadpool. Thankfully, that leaked out, and that kind of revitalized, I think, a portion of the non-straight X-Men, timeline or films or whatever, lineage, if you will. And that kind of propelled it up there. But then we still had X-Men Apocalypse. So at least we got one good X-Men movie in 2016. And that, of course, would be Deadpool. So, yeah, I mean, this is all what could have been. And it's crazy that they wanted to beat Marvel to the punch, or they wanted to at least find a way to maybe coexist, cohabitate, or capitalize on the success of the Avengers. I think once Avengers hit $1 billion and they were like, what? They should have greenlit it. They should have gone forward with it. They should have definitely done something different. And I put a lot of that problem, I put a lot of those decisions, those bad decisions, at the feet of Laura Schuler Donner and Simon Kinberg. And I'm not going to lie, I'm very glad that they're no longer involved with these films in that capacity. They might be very close and very good friends of Kevin Feige, but they had the keys to the X-Men castle for so long that they only did a couple times right. And they really bungled it a lot of other ways. And I think that we're in a better place for the franchises now. And who knows, maybe something along these lines will materialize in some way down the road, but it will just be under Kevin Feige, who quite frankly is a much better shepherd for these types of properties. But anyway, I leave it to you, your thoughts, your opinions. Is this something you would have seen? You would have liked to have seen a long time ago? Or are you glad it didn't come to fruition so then we wouldn't have to wait longer for these characters to make their way into the MCU? Let me know down in the comments. I'll talk to you guys later. Please don't forget to thumbs up the video and subscribe, and have yourself a fantastic day. Peace out.